Hi, it's Deborah Boschert. I'm here with another video about art quilting. In my last video, several of you asked about this piece, which is installed in the entryway of our house. So I'm happy to share some details with you. I'm standing on the stairway here, just inside the front door so that you can get a shot of the whole installation. It's 53 by 3-inch squares. And I was inspired to make it because I wanted to enter a show that's here in North Dallas called Materials Hard and Soft that accepts interesting pieces of artwork that require interesting installation designs. So I make art quilts, and I thought to myself, well, it'd be fun to try something new, and I came up with this idea of making a large art quilt of all of these small individual pieces that work together as a whole. So I made this landscape with the idea that sometimes the sky is the biggest part of the landscape, and it can be as interesting and full of details as the rest of the landscape. So the sky up at the top is dark, and we've got some suggestion of some cloudy areas, and then the sky gets lighter and we get to the horizon here. And then there's an area where there's some golden grassy and red flowers. And then here's the green grassy, maybe some more wildflowers there at the bottom. I really wanted each individual piece to stand on its own as an interesting composition, but then I also wanted the piece to work together as a whole. Each piece has some machine stitching, that's the horizontal stitched lines, and then some hand embroidery. Sometimes people ask if I made one large piece and then I cut it up. I didn't. I composed each piece individually, but of course I paid attention to how it would relate to the pieces next to it and the pieces above and below it. So after all the fabric and stitching layers, I cut them to this 3 by 3 inch size and mounted them on commercial stretched canvases that I got at the craft store. And then when it came time to hang it, I considered lots of options, but I just went with the trusty tool known as masking tape. And I put 2 loops of tape on each piece, and that allowed me to kind of scoot each piece over until it was perfectly aligned in this grid composition. Thanks so much for asking about this piece. I didn't end up entering it in Materials Hard and Soft last year because I didn't finish it in time, but the deadline for this year's show is coming up, so I may enter it in this year's show. Have a great day. Thanks for enjoying some fabric and stitching with me.